Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Deborah Dada. And the last time, we talked about turning our big ideas into small, workable versions. I explained different frameworks to you. I explained what the MVP is. We talked about giving our ideas superpower. We talked about building MVPs and knowing that they are actually the start of anything that we want to do and this minimum viable product. Today, we are going to take up things to a whole new level, and we are going to be talking about giving our ideas a superpower. And that superpower is called AI, artificial intelligence. Now, don't worry if that sounds big, scary, and I promise at the end of this session, you will understand it. See it everywhere in your daily life and even think of ways you can add it to your own ideas, right? So, definitely, you are in for a good ride. Now, for today, like I said, we're talking about what AI is, how it works without the tech jargon. We are going to be talking about how you're already using AI without even thinking about it. Talk about the tiny tools that you can do with AI with the bigger superpowers, and one full class example of using AI for something real and useful. We'll also look at how to add AI as an helper to the solutions that we have designed earlier in all of our sessions. Now, our biblical anchor for today is from James chapter 1 verse 5, and it says, "If any one of you lacks wisdom, let him ask." And who let him ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. The lesson from here is that AI is a tool, but wisdom comes from God. Just like Joseph used his wisdom to interpret dreams and save a whole country, we should use the tool available to us in ways that are wise and in ways that are helpful. Think of Joseph in the Bible. He didn't just interpret the king's dream because he was clever. God gave him wisdom, and he used the wisdom to save the entire nation. In the same way, we can actually use AI, and we need God's wisdom to guide us when we are using it so that we use it in a way that can help and not harm. So let's get right into it. What is AI? AI stands for artificial intelligence. And I want you to note this because this is very important. It stands for artificial intelligence. As a human being, you have the human intelligence. Now, what people have done is build an artificial version of the human intelligence and then make softwares be able to act like humans. I will explain deeper to you. This is just a fancy way of saying a computer can learn from examples and then use what it has learned to do things for us. As a human being that you have learned from different examples to live your life today. You know that if you brush your teeth, the way to brush your teeth is by putting the toothbrush in your mouth and brushing it. You know that the way to eat is by putting your hand into the food and eating it, or by using your spoon to eat. You know that the way to read is to carry the book and put your eyes and read letter by letter. You know that when you ought to sleep, you close your eyes. That is the same way you have learned over the time, and that's the same way artificial intelligence learns. So artificial intelligence is using patterns, examples that you have given to it over time. It has learned it and is now using it to do things for us. So you cannot just tell AI out of nowhere to do something. It is only able to do those things because somebody somewhere has taught it that pattern. Now think about how you have learned to recognize your best friend voice. You know your auntie's voice anywhere in the room. You know your mommy's voice. You didn't just study a manual. You just learned by hearing them talk over and over. You know your mother's voice because you have heard your mother's talk over and over again. In the same way, AI learns, and except instead of a few examples, it can see millions in a second. So the way AI is different is that it does not need to hear your mommy's voice for years before it knows your mother's voice. It only needs to hear it once, and then it has learnt the pattern. So, and it does a million of recognition in a very few seconds. Now, you can learn to, which is the same way, you can learn to recognize your friend's voice after hearing them talk. AI learns to recognize things like voices, faces, patterns, by looking at lots and lots of examples. So the same way you build your intelligence by example is the same way AI has built its intelligence as well by example. There are three main parts of AI that I will need to explain to you. One is data, the example it learns from. So this is what AI actually learns from. The pictures, the words, the numbers. This is what AI learns from, the data. And I want you to remember this. The second is the model. This is the brain. This is the brain of the AI that remembers the patterns and everything. This is like the AI's brain after it has learned. So when you give it a data, the brain processes that data, which is the model. And then the last thing is the output, which is the result, the answer, the suggestion, the guess that it gives you. So the same way our brain works. If I ask you, how are you? Your brain processes and say, she's checking on me. And then you respond to me, I am fine. That's the same thing that happens with AI. You give it data, it processes this with the model, and then gives you the output. With you, it happens without thinking about it. With the AI as well, it happens in seconds, very fast. So that's it. It's not magic. It's just learning and using patterns. It's like you. It has learned to brush. It has learned to eat. And with AI, you can ask it anything. If you ask particularly ChatGPT, which is a form of AI, that what are the foods in Nigeria? Because a lot of people have given it data about food in Nigeria, it has a response to give you. So when you give it that information, it checks its brain. Who are the Nigerians? What kind of food do they eat? And it does that in split seconds, and then it gives you a response. So yeah, beautifully we have gone through what is AI. Now let's go to areas in your life where you already actually see AI and you do not know that you have already seen AI in these places. Is in TikTok and YouTube suggestion. Anybody here watches TikTok? Oh yes. So AI is already a part of your life, even if you have never thought about it. You know how you can watch one video on TikTok and then you see multiple videos like that one video? Interesting. That is AI. It's AI that suggests what next you watch based on your previous watching pattern. So the data, it has looked at things you have watched, it has checked this model, it is now giving you things that are related to the things that you are watching. And that's how AI already works today. Now you know when you keep seeing a type of video over and over again, AI, artificial intelligence, is responsible for it. Another thing is autocorrect. When you're typing and all of a sudden you already see that, oh, you made a mistake, but it has been corrected. And that's AI as well. Autocorrecting words that you meant to type or guessing words that you meant to type. The next thing is maps. You can use maps to get from one location to another location because an AI can be used to find a faster route. Imagine somebody going from Itoshin to Eleweron. You can decide to go through the normal route, but the map can actually find a faster route for you based on maybe there is a traffic somewhere or there's something happening somewhere. The map can find a faster route for you. And that's how AI is. It finds the faster route for you. There's also something called a spam filter. So if you check for people that have emails, in your email, you can use AI to filter out emails that are bad emails. And it will leave the ones that seem like they come from original senders. There's also people that use Snapchat. You can use face filters. It detects your face and it had effects to it. So there are a lot of things and a lot of ways that we use AI today. There's also voice to text where you can tell something AI something and then it gives you the text written out. So there's a whole lot that AI is doing around you today. I want you to take a moment and think of what are the areas where AI is doing something today that I've actually not paid attention to. Now, the street lights in advanced countries also use AI. They detect the numbers of cars on a route with cameras and know how much time to give that route so that they can go through the traffic lights. That's something that already happens in developed countries. Street lights using AI. There are different billboards that also use AI. It's in everything and everywhere that we go. AI is everywhere and it's quietly making life a little easier in the background. Now, I'm going to go ahead to tell you about the tiny tools and big impact. So not all AI tools are very big and complicated. Some are simple, tiny tools, but they can make a huge difference. Some are small and focused, tiny tools. They make a lot of difference just by the little things that they do. Examples of AI tools like that, tiny like that, are something that turns a school topic into a 5 question quiz. For example, if I go to ChatGPT and I put a question in there and say, "This is our topic we are talking about today. Give me 5 questions that can come from here." It gives it to me instantly and quickly. There are some interesting AI products that can actually summarize 5 pages article into 3 bullet points and just give you quick summary. There are different other ones that can translate English to Yoruba so that your grandma can read it, just to make things very easy for you. Some can remind you of your homework in a polite and clear way. Some can help market sellers calculate their price fee faster. Some can turn like a messy to-do list into like simple daily plans. So it is very important for you to know that AI does not have to be bogus. Some are like very small tools, but they are powerful and they can solve problems really well. I'll go on to tell you about the strengths and the limits of AI. What is AI good at? And what is AI not yet good at? This is what we are talking about in this session. AI is great, it's great at spotting patterns, organizing information, giving suggestions. But the truth is it is not perfect. There's something called hallucination, and sometimes the AI hallucinates, and then it gives you a wrong answer. And that is why you don't just take the response from AI verbatim. You can actually vet the response, make corrections by yourself. And that's the difference between humans and an artificial intelligence. That's the difference between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. So it's very important for you to be able to spot hallucinations in your AI and make corrections. Now let's leverage on what is AI good at. It's good at spotting patterns quickly, organizing and summarizing information, and giving suggestions. So it's very fast, it can work 24/7, it can see patterns that humans miss. Those things are like the good things I can do. But then there's also the wrong part of AI, like mistakes that AI can make. And there we are talking about it being wrong and sound confident doing it. So AI can be wrong, and then you argue with it that, oh, this is right, to tell you that, oh, it is right. And that's because maybe somebody it is what somebody else has fed the model. It's another information that the model has processed. So it is very important for you to know that a lot of people all around the world, particularly for ChatGPT, are actually training this model with information. And you need to be careful that some people are intentionally giving it wrong information, which means that it might also give you back that wrong information. So it doesn't actually understand like a human being. It can make mistake, it can be wrong and be confident at it. So that's why you must always do your own double check. Another thing AI is not good at is copying mistake. It can copy mistakes from bad examples, which is what I said. Somebody else might give it a prompt that is wrong, and then it will copy the mistake from it because it does not have that human intelligence. It can unfairly be trained with bad data. It can cause privacy problems if you give it your personal information. It is not safe. If you give it your personal information, best believe somebody else can request for that personal information anywhere all around the world and they'll get access to it. So, a rule for you today is for you to know that AI is like a smart assistant. You must check its work. If you have a PA and your PA does anything, you need to double check it to make sure that, okay, this thing is this doing it right the way that I want it to be done? And that's why it is extremely important for you to check the work of AI and don't just believe verbatim what it says saying. AI is a very smart assistant. Helpful, yes. Perfect, no. Always check its work. Always check its work. It is helpful, yes. Is it perfect? No. So always check its work. We're going to do a pretty little example, and we're going to bring this home with a real example you can imagine using right now. The problem we have is that students often get stuck on homework and either copy from a friend or just leave it blank. Anybody copied assignment from a friend before? Yeah. Don't be shy. God has forgiven all of your sins. It's mainly for you to be diligent now. Some people get stuck with their homework and be like, I don't know this thing, I'll just copy it tomorrow from your friend in class. And yes, that's absolutely fine. Now, some people leave it blank and don't even do it at all. So if you want to build a solution and say it's an AI powered homework helper, he explains the answer in 3 simple steps and even helps you practice the question. So this thing, it helps you do your assignment in such a way that it does not just give you the answer bam. He explains every step to you. So you actually understand the assignment that you're doing, the answers that you're giving to your assignment. And it gives you an extra practice question so that you know that you just learned. You did not just copy. It's a thing that you can just give your assignments to ChatGPT and then it will give you a response. Quick, beautiful. But there's also an opportunity that the sort of ChatGPT giving you that response immediately, it teaches you like the train of thought so that you understand how they arrived at that answer. Now, let's do a very simple example. If a student comes with a problem and says that my assignment is I need to find the least common multiple of 2 and 18, the LCM of 2 and 18, I believe we some of us understand the concept of LCM, is the least common multiple. So it means that if we multiply these two numbers by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5, by 6, which number will be the common multiple between the both of them that is the smallest? So the thing now is to read the AI reads the question. So it looks for a pattern from all the math problem it has seen before. And this is why you have to be careful. What if the pattern of the math problem it has seen before is the wrong one? So you need to double check your answer. Then the AI explains to you in 3 steps. Step one, it lists all the multiples of 12. So 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, 12 times 4 is 48, 12 times 5 is 60. It gives you all of that back to back. Then that tells you, okay, it lists all the multiples of 18. 18 times 1, 18 times 2, 18 times 3, 18 times 4. Now, it will tell you that the first number in both lists, the first common number in both lists is 36. The number that number is in 12. That number is also in 18, and it is the smallest. But that's the meaning of least common multiple, and that's 36. So the AI now gives you a practice question. You find the LCM of 8 and 14. So because of this pattern that AI is explaining to you, I can easily find the LCM of 8 and 14. 8 times 4, 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 3 is 24, 8 times 4 is 32, I suppose, if I'm correct. 8 times 5 is 40. Now, if I want to find, I need to now, next step is to now find the least multiple of it of 14. 14 times 1 is 14, 14 times 2 is 24, 14 times 3 would be 42. Now, I've already seen a common number now. 14 times 2 is 24, 8 times 3 is 24. So I know that, sorry, 24 is the least common multiple of 8 and 14. And I only know this just because ChatGPT or the AI I've been using has explained the answer to me. Just not randomly just giving me the answer, it has explained it to me in the way that it will help me. So now, you are going to have a practical task with your aunties and your uncles. And it involves you taking your MVP from last week and find one place where AI can actually help you achieve your MVP easily. You can write down what AI would do, what you would give it, what would be your input, and what output you are expecting it to give it back, and why it will be helpful. So, in the course of this session, that is going to be the end of our session today. I've been able to explain to you that AI isn't replacing you, it's just here to help you achieve what you want to do. And with wisdom from God and the right tools, you can use AI to turn small ideas into big impact. And AI can genuinely help you to achieve a lot of things. And for you to know that AI is helpful and it is not perfect, so you always need to check the work and verify the work that it has given you. So next time we are going to flip the coin a bit and we are going to talk about responsibilities that come with using AI or using technology as a whole. Because you can't just do something because you feel like doing it. What keeps us in check as Christians when we are using technology, when we are using artificial intelligence? That is going to be our topic so far. I hope that you found that's going to be our next topic. I hope that you found this session useful. Again, AI stands for artificial intelligence, and it's just a fancy way of saying a computer is learning from example and then using it to do things for you. And the same way humans can learn from good and bad example, AI can also learn from good and bad example, and that's why you need to cross-check the work every time before before accepting it or before including it. Till next time, I will see you in the next class. Enjoy your practical session.